ADR, this is King Black, and judging by my last video, the topic of Tekashi seems to have a lot of you out there quite heated, quite passionate, blowing up the comment section. So since I see that you guys like it so much, let's beat this dead horse even more. Now, Tekashi recently had given a separate account of what happened to him that didn't correlate with what he gave to the cops. You know what I'm saying? He gave a different version of the story than what the cops had. Now, why would this happen? How could this happen? You know, I have a few theories as to why he's got two different versions out there of what's going on. Theory number one, after the fact and after some thinking, he started putting some puzzle pieces together and figured out, just like I did, that it had to have been an inside job. And maybe he figured out exactly who did it. Once again, by putting the pieces together, maybe he saw a tattoo, maybe he remembered a certain voice, maybe something else tipped him off. Maybe certain people that used to be always around him weren't around him. Kind of these little red flags. And it could be that he realized who it was and he didn't want to be labeled a snitch. So he put out this entirely different account of what happened. And he began to become uncooperative with the cops, with the detectives investigating the case. And when you have somebody take you for your jewelry and cash, you know, I'm pretty sure you won't want that stuff back as soon as possible, because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to get that back, man. The cash is gone, untraceable. The jewelry, if it's melted down, it's gone. You ain't never seen that thing again. So, second theory, in my mind, is maybe he just, after the adrenaline wore off, after what happened to him happened, and he's recovered in the hospital and stuff, maybe certain other things started to become clear in his mind, things that he didn't remember in the moment when he was being interrogated or asked what was going on. You know, Tekashi 6ix9ine is quite public. It's hard to miss him. You know, he's got that rainbow cloud hair. He's got those tattoos everywhere that you can see him from a mile away. So it's not like he is that hard of a target, especially when it comes from an inside job. You know, what's interesting is, after I was reading about how his second account didn't match up and cops were saying that he was being uncooperative, so they couldn't really do much further investigating. It's funny how they were talking about Safari's robbery. And if you guys remember, Safari was Nicki Minaj's ex before Meek Mill. And when he got robbed, it was an inside job. And here's the kicker, man. These cats out here are smart. Not only was it an inside job, but they had put a GPS tracking device on his car. You know, so they were just waiting for the right time to strike. And even though they got caught on surveillance video and the suspects got picked up, confirming and verifying that theory goes to show you the lengths some people go when they're feeling envious, when they're feeling jealous of what you got, when they want what you got. And this kind of thing seems like it happened at 6ix9ine, you know. I know many people out there may not like him, and he's too brash and he's too outspoken. But this is what happens when you put out all of that energy out into the ether. You know, you're gonna have people that are gonna want to feed off of that. You're gonna have them sharks. You know, Tekashi has the hardest job of all. Everybody knows what he looks like, so he has to fend off attacks from all angles. Whereas when you got somebody like me, who's covered up, I have the same chance as you have to get at me is the same chance I have to get at you first. Because you might be unsure, you might not know 100%. And when I see those nervous looks, or you know, this out of place, out of character behavior coming out of a stranger that I never seen before, I already know. Be ready. You know, people are talking about my tattoo and stuff like that. You don't know what I'll be wearing the day anybody sees me. I might have on a long sleeve shirt, might have on a coat, might have on whatever. You might not even see it. Contrary to my face, that when you have a face to see, when you have a face you can focus on, to carry around with you in your camera phone, to look at, you can pick someone out from a crowd. A tattoo isn't so easy. You have to get up close and personal. And most of these people doing the wolfing in the comments, I know for damn sure, you know, they don't have the heart to do something face to face to somebody. It's easy to be in a car 100 yards away and pull a trigger. It's harder still to confirm the target you are looking for and get up right close. You know, it's like these people who end up going to jail for murder. They committed murder via a firearm. You know, they used a gun and killed somebody. And with the gun, you can have all the confidence in the world because you don't have to be that close. But when they get behind those jail cells, when they get inside that penitentiary, where for the most part there is no guns, and you gotta face enemies face to face, sometimes outnumbered 3-1, 2-1, and all you have is your hands or shanks made from whatever you can find, but they also have the same weapons as you do. It's more who wants to survive more. And the more outnumbered you are in that situation, the less likely it is for you to come out on top. And this is why I'm telling all of you out there, especially the youngins, you don't want to be doing anything on the streets that's going to get you locked up. Because the jails and the penitentiaries are full of wolves. Everybody is out for themselves. No matter if they click up. You know, no matter if it's, you know, the Aryan Nation, no matter if it's the Black Guerrilla Mafia, if it's the DC Blacks, no matter if it's Latin Kings, no matter if it's Bloods, Crips. When something happens to you at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 1 a.m. in that cell, all you have to protect yourself is yourself. And if you ain't ready to fight to the death for your life, you better not be doing nothing on the street that's going to make you get placed into that situation. You know, in the jail, in the pen, from what I heard, it's not even the most buff guys you have to worry about. Look at most serial killers, man. They're not buff people. They're quiet, meek little people that you wouldn't assume would be capable of such things. But yet get on their wrong side and they will stop at nothing to get at you. being in an organization has its ups and downs, but I live my life in an organization in a way that keeps me from out of all that drama, keeps me from ever being in the back of a squad car, that keeps me from having to plead no contest, plead guilty. I believe you can rep an organization, wear your colors proudly, help your community, and stay out of jail and the penitentiary. If you're a Blood or a Crip, I believe there's a way that you can live that life without the BS that you see in music videos, without all that BS you be seeing in any of these documentaries, TV shows, or movies. That you can live free, be out for the barbecues, be out to raise your kids, be out to take care of your family, be out to marry that girl, or if you're a female, be out to marry that man that you've been wanting to tie the knot with. Everybody in the comment section that's saying no real gangster will cover his face, that's freaking hilarious. There's many reasons why a member of an organization will cover their face. You think only neutrals watch videos? You don't think enemies of organizations watch videos? As I have mentioned before and a couple times, all it takes is 1 second to extinguish life from a body. And many people have caught life in prison and jail for that 1 second. For something that really didn't matter. For something that they took as disrespect. For a look, for a word, for a name call. Pull a trigger, took a knife to somebody, and are spending 40, 50, 60 years behind bars while somebody else raises their children, while somebody else is with their significant other, while everybody else is moving on with their life, getting their money. They're stuck with other people who have made the same choice, with nothing to look forward to but canteen. And that's not the life I think many of you would aspire to. I would hope not. And any of you who glorify that lifestyle takes an L. Jail, prison is not freaking Disneyland. Nobody should think that's a cool place to go or that's the place to build your reputation. The only thing you being in jail or prison says to people like me is that you got caught. You were living the wrong kind of life for whatever reason it may have been, whether it was to get money, whether it was to impress somebody, whether you thought it would get you further up the ranks. I believe in an organization should help its members stay free, who should help mentor the young ones to stay in school, to do better than those that came before them, to show they can be 20, 30, 40 years in an organization and never have spent a single night in jail, to have only used violence as a method of self-defense, not as provocation. I once heard a quote from Denzel Washington, who said, "The system is biased." That's true, but you're not supposed to help it. That means even if the odds may be stacked against you, that doesn't give you the green light to make it easier for the system to get you. You gotta use what's up here. And give a positive image of your organization to your local community. Don't worry about what your organization is doing in the next city over, the next state over. Focus only first and foremost on what you can control. The people around you, the kids around you, the community around you, the single mothers in your neighborhood, the single fathers in your neighborhood, the grandparents raising the kids because both parents are in jail. Those are the people these organizations are supposed to be helping, not hurting the community. No matter how easy the money is to deal and the stuff people are dealing, the money is quick and easy, I understand that. And the money is fast, it's under the table, and you can stack a lot of it. But the risk far outweighs the reward. All it takes is 1 second to lose your life due to an overdose, getting caught by opposition, getting caught off guard by a junkie. All it takes is getting caught by law enforcement to lose your life behind bars. Instead of living right, trying to show others that even though life is hard, you're trying to live on the straight and narrow. And it's possible, no matter what you've been through, no matter if you have a record. There's things that you can do to better yourself and become an example and a leader, not only for your organization, but for the community around you. You know, people like me who want to think positively and say, try to live without trying to fulfill this MTV illusion of what being a member of an organization is. I'm necessary. I bring a shred of light into the darkness. When you have people out there who only want to see destruction and chaos, you wouldn't want these same type of people trying to recruit your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt into their organization with those purposes in mind. If for any reason someone chooses to join an organization, you would want the words they hear to come from someone like me who says you don't have to be out there gangbanging every day. You don't have to be out there slinging anything that's going to get you a felony. But you can still be in an organization, contribute to your community, and stay in school, graduate with honors, go on to college if you wish. If not, start your own business or start working. Not having to hide that affiliation because they see you are not living that negativity. You have to be smart. You have to be ready. And although I'm as positive as I am, I'm always ready to defend myself because I understand, although I think like this, my opposition does not. There are people out there who can give a crap about kids trying to get their education, about people trying to get off whatever they are addicted to and getting their life on the straight and narrow. All they care about is the ones, the fives, tens, 20s, 50s, and the hundreds. How much money they can stack under a mattress or stuff in their safe. That's their main motivation. They don't care how they get it as long as they get it. And that's why I say you gotta live on the straight and narrow, because when it comes time to protect you and yours, much better to have done it legally than illegally. Because if you had to protect yourself, but you did it illegally, you're still going to get caught up. It may not be as bad, but you're still going to get caught up. You do it legally, like that justified shoot in Florida, you're not gonna get no charges. That's why I teach mine to live right, so they don't get a record, so they can carry legally, so they can get their permits. So that way that background check comes back clear. Because I'm not naive. I've seen my fair share of things. And I've also chosen not to partake in some things. I have chosen not to follow a path similar to many of those who came before me that has only served to get them locked up and with regret to enter as young men to only come out as old men or not come out at all, or to come out worse than what they went in. Anyways, that's enough of my breath that I'm wasting, because I'm pretty sure for some of you out there, my words are only going through one ear and out the other. ADR, King Black.